Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and certainly a fair bit of news to dive into today. Yesterday the CDL came up with a piece of content where Simp was talking about if Atlanta FaZe was to go a bit haywire, which player would you like to team with going forwards? I wonder who that could possibly be. And tweeting your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoy the video, subscribe if you were new as always, I greatly appreciate it. Everybody outside the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing that. Thanks also for 64,000 subscribers, not too far away now from 2/3 to the magic number. Not really in a hurry to get there, just trying to produce the best content we can, and if you guys would like to help me on the journey, feel free to do so with the big red button, all that good stuff. Yesterday on this day, 30th of June, Complexity won Anaheim 2013. This is pretty remarkable if you guys are new to the scene. This is the team. This really was like a changing of the guard in terms of like the dynasty starting for the Complexity guys, because at the time, for Eco Impact were the dominant force. This was like where they could actually be beaten at an event, to be honest. That was everyone's question mark. They'd really innovated what they were doing in the hard points, and they were so far ahead of the game. Complexity come along, Prestinni, Crimsix, Aches and TP you can see on the left hand side here, Matt Mitchrex on the right hand side, and they come in and win this event, and it's pretty remarkable because Freako Impact have won the World Championship. This was Crimsix and Clayster's first event in Call of Duty history, their first event win. You can see Clayster certainly enjoyed the moment right here, and 8 years later, or 7 or so years later I guess, they as a duo go on to win the World Championship again on Dallas Empire. So remarkable. Some of the history of Call of Duty, I'll definitely have to do a better job, maybe on the Breaking Point channel. Some more documentary stuff I'm sure will come out on this channel throughout the off season. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. I'm certainly looking forward to making it. On the Clayster side of things as well, congrats on the big 100 say Breaking Point, because there's a page on the Breaking Point website, how long since Clay last fell off the map. That was now over 100 days ago. I think it's 101 days as of today. The latest slip was back against the Los Angeles Thieves 101 or so days ago. Now if the next year is a jetpack game, I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the ground, but even on boots on the ground games he finds ways to fall off the map. So there was certainly the meme back in Black Ops 3, especially that he would also fall off the map, and for understandable reasons. We saw that clip actually, I think I put at the end of the video a couple of days ago, with Zuma getting kind of frustrated at him in a Black Ops 3 tournament on Shao, whatever they were playing at the time. But yeah, who knows whether a jetpack game comes back. Clayster will certainly be off in a heartbeat. This also, yesterday was Scump's birthday, you know, undoubtedly one of the best to ever do it, no doubt about it. Such a legend of the Call of Duty scene, no doubt, and all these clips, all these images, of course, from so many years of him competing, just done so much for the scene. I thought this was kind of interesting, right, because I don't follow CS now as much as closely as I did, but Simple is, well, I imagine still considered like the best player in the game, and as he says here, like there's always been some animosity, I guess, between the CSGO and the Call of Duty communities, but as he says, like, never followed COD much, but his charisma, personality, and skill always brought joy to me. Happy birthday, Mr. Scump. You get this as well that comes in from Nadeshot. Happy birthday to my brother for life. I mean, imagine what Call of Duty would have been like without these two. It's kind of tough to imagine. We'll always be there for you whenever you need me. Just make a call and I'm there. Enjoy your day. Love you, man. Some cracking images here from over the years between these two together. This one from back in the, well, days where they were competing alongside each other for the green wall, of course. And well, this is where they recreated the famous image from back in the day, to be honest, kind of the other way around. So crazy stuff. And well, this is what Scump says in reply. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone for the birthday wishes. Birthdays always show me how interconnected and positive this community really is. 26 though, golly, old man, still slide cancelling full. So cool to see from Scump, right? Because of course he's been in a little bit of a difficult place lately, but I do find that moments like this show that, you know, the Call of Duty community has its bright spots and has its upsides. And well, as Clay says in reply, been doing it for years, brother. Happy birthday. Now this is cool in a way, right? Because Scump's 26, and of course, like you know, relative to normal sports or relative to life in general, it's incredibly young. But for an esports professional, it's getting on a bit, right? And it's cool that Scump can still look at guys like Crimsix and Clayster that are older than him, that are still competing at a very high level. And yeah, that hopefully will keep Scump around for another couple of years. I'm sure we would love to see it. So this is what the CDL come out with yesterday. Maybe in the future, exclamation mark, question mark, I'd probably have flipped those two the other way around, but each to their own. And he says in this clip right here, look, if things went wrong for FaZe, and look, at the end of the day, FaZe are probably not going to split up anytime soon, but who knows, right? Teams don't last forever. The longest, you know, forming team in quite a while was like, I guess, the OpTic dynasty for 2 and a bit years, and that eventually did break down. So you'd imagine, you know, FaZe eventually are going to break down, whether it's, you know, 2 years' time, whether it's 1 year's time, whether it's like 20 years' time, I don't even know at this point. But still, at some point, things are going to go wrong, and well, the team's going to split apart for whatever reason. Now, you know, Simp saying right here, if there was someone that he wanted to team with that he hasn't teamed with yet, hasn't got the opportunity to, he talks about Dashy as a potential player that he would love to play with going forward. I wonder whether this could ever happen.
Who's the player that you wish could play with but haven't? I don't really know if I have anyone that I haven't played with, because the friends that I did have that are on my team, I've already kind of teamed with, like MajorManiak. But if I had to pick someone, I mean, I don't even know, like Dashy maybe, or
So this was some discussion they had somewhat recently. Like this tweet if you want snipers back in competitive S&D. Trying to see something, says Dashy. Of course, Simp and Dashy both phenomenal sniper players. They had some great battles back in the Black Ops 4 season, you guys might remember. I think one time they actually killed each other with the sniper because there was some travel time in that game on the sniper rifles. They shot each other at the same time and they both died at the same time, so they got a perfect trade. Now, yeah, these kind of two have always kind of gone back and forth for a little bit, and I wonder whether this could potentially happen because there are some questions right now. Of course, FaZe, like a lot of people are saying they're the next dynasty. They have like a game battles record, as Methods described it, 30-4 so far this season. You're not expecting them to break up anytime soon, but there's been teams that have had dominant seasons, and then the next season it doesn't quite go so well. Some other team forms a very dominant squad. Look, it's going to be tough to take down FaZe. At the same time, teams that are so dominant for so long, you know, they get maybe to some degree of complacency, and I don't think FaZe are going to develop that anytime soon. But look, teams don't last forever, even though it looks like maybe they're going to last forever. This FaZe squad right now, OpTic are also in a kind of interesting position where, look, at the end of the day, I don't think, and this, you know, Simp says right here, he gets the eyes emojis out, what could potentially happen going forward. I mean, maybe the league goes back to 5v5 and they get Dashy or something. Hope that doesn't happen, but who knows at this point. OpTic, of course, are in quite an interesting spot. I mean, we just talked about the Scump situation, and hopefully he doesn't go anywhere. But look, if you are Scump, if you are OpTic, and you want to win championships, and this current team, where you don't have the results you want this season, let's say they don't make it to another grand finals, and, you know, they don't make it, they don't win champs, for example, then, like, if OpTic really want to, you know, create a winning team, do they consider making some sort of change, right? I don't think that's going to happen necessarily, and the problem is really for OpTic to make a change is that Scump and Formal can't go anywhere, and Envoy and Dashy are really part of that culture now and part of the brand and the organisation, and they're kind of, well, not dubbed as like Scump and Football's replacements, but if anything, they'll be the next guys up to be the veterans on the team in a few years' time. So, look, I don't think anything's going to happen there, but still, it's incredible how quickly things can change in Call of Duty, right? Just a couple of years ago, the teams that we were seeing were so far different to what we see today, and it's somewhat impossible to tell what the teams of the future could potentially look like. This is a very famous sniper clip from Simp at his first ever event at CDL London, when he was just absolutely going off on the main stage with the sniper rifle in hand, and well, Dashy certainly had a fair few moments just like this throughout the Black Ops 4 days, but yeah, Simp definitely obviously a phenomenal player, right? And Dashy clearly a player that Simp respects very much and thinks that he could be a great, well, part for his team, and look, who knows what happened with FaZe. Obviously, like Simp and aBeZy, you're imagining them as a duo and not going to as well switch up anytime soon, no doubt about it, and what change could they ever potentially make? Maybe it could be for Cellium, right? I don't think that's going to happen, of course. I'm sure they, you know, I don't think they're going to make a change anytime soon, but still, if there was a change to be made, like Arcitys, Simp and aBeZy were the team of three that won the World Championships this year on this team, so yeah, that flex role could be open for situations, who knows, in the future, because the Simp says right here on the 9th of April, if I don't retire from him, that being aBeZy as my duo, then something went significantly wrong, showing that, you know, those are kind of the duo that's probably never going to split up in Call of Duty, if there is going to be a duo that's never going to split up, but maybe the rest of the pieces on the team could be interchangeable, depending on the situation, and well, obviously, we never know what's going to happen going forwards. Thought this is interesting as well, actually, from Draft, but just to look at these players, right? Simp and aBeZy up here are leaders of the fantasy points so far this season. There's no real surprise there, but Dashy right up here in the 7th position, Octane's actually up here, Neptune's up here, Scump's on here as well, Cellium's of course up here, and I mean, honestly, incredible performance from these guys so far this season. I don't think you see some of the, like, Standy, for example, probably would be here if he'd been playing the entire season, but yeah, he hasn't really accrued as many points as some of these other players have so far. This is well that the quarterly come out with yesterday, pretty cool, CDL Trivia, which of these CDL pros dropped the most kills in a single map this season. You can see, I voted for Clayster, I knew what the answer was, but yeah, a lot of people voting for Dashy, understandably so. The actual record is this from Clayster. I think this is a raid control, where he drops 43 kills against, say, his former team. I think he even loses the map he goes on to say replies. So impressive stuff from Clayster. That is still the record, actually. Some games you see like ridiculous kill records. I don't know what the record was in Advanced Warfare, but like I feel like I remember Formal having like pushing like 60, 65 kills at one point on I think Retreat Hardpoint was one of the ones. Of course, it depends on the gamers. It used to be crazy when you could get that many kills, and like a 50 bomb was not a completely irregular occurrence. Speaking of Clayster though, Octane had his way with him. It seems like a lot of these players have been playing these like S&D chals the last few days to obviously prepare for their stage 5 run, and you can see Octane right here up in well, top fish, I think some people call it, completely spinning on Clayster. Certainly, well, shows him some extra love with the body shots, no doubt about that, as he then continues to pick up the ace to finish off this very nice clip here on Sound of Search and Destroy. Actually, this angle is really nice, and I haven't really, well, maybe I've seen that used before, but kind of forgot it was a thing, and he finishes off very nicely with the Rafika, or the Diamati, whatever they call it in this game in hand. Just wanted to finish off with this clip as well, because we talked about at the start of the video that Complexity won MLG Anaheim 2013. This was where they really shocked the world in a sense, when X went off at the start of this game, putting, well, the world champions at the time, Freaker Impact, in the 100-point club, because the world championship used to be in May, or in March, sorry, like before the season even ended for some reason, and this is what they happened to do back in the day because it was to promote the DLC number 2 is effectively what the plan was. But well, still, here we go. This is when they put them in the 100-point club, and this is a shocking moment to many at the time, and well, just shows what this team went on to be, and well, some legendary players in Call of Duty history. Very much intrigued to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm that you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well, and I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you much as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
I mean, aBeZy, talk about coming out the gate strong here.
Wow.
And Complexity as a whole, first movers to that hard point have been holding it down. Now they just got to keep defending it as Impact starting to get in there. aBeZy, he's on a roll. He's already got his lightning strike. I mean, this guy is on fire here. I mean, you got to stay on top of him.
I love what aBeZy is allowed to do as well. He's got the war machine to open this game. How can we not go full screen with this guy right now? Absolutely ripping it up. And here we go. He's got the war machine.
I spawned here. Front got me, front got me.
I got him.
Nice, good job, good job.
Rotate it.
Good
Let's
play.
go. Let's get it. Let's go.
Just 7 more seconds for Complexity. aBeZy on a 6-kill spree. 2, 1, boom!
What?
This is the second time.